Jericho, for many generations it's been inhabited as a city. It's definitely the lowest city in the world, but it also claims to be the oldest city in the world. It vies with Damascus for being the oldest city in the world. But the big difference between it and Damascus is that Damascus was continually inhabited, whereas Jericho had a long break of when people weren't living there. During the New Testament period, it was a very wealthy city. It was where King Herod the Great had his winter palace. It's where Zacchaeus, the tax collector, lived. It's where Bartimaeus was healed and given his sight back. At Jericho there's a spring, and this is part of why Jericho has been inhabited for so long. But there's a plentiful supply of water, so the combination of heat and water makes it a great place for growing things. A lot of out-of-season vegetables are grown here because you can grow stuff here pretty much all year round. Often I've been here in the summer and it's kind of 42 degrees or so. Today is a cold day in Jericho, so it'll be about 25, 26. We're going to head round to ancient Jericho, where the city would have been in the Old Testament times. Just behind the site we'll see a cable car taking people up into the mountains off to our left. The cable car is taking people to the reputed site, the site that kind of people have thought might be the place where Jesus was tempted by Satan. Matthew says that Jesus was taken up to a high mountain from which he could see all the kingdoms of the world, and so the cable car goes to the highest mountain near here.
Here we are in Jericho, and you see how it's a patch of green and a big sea of brown. And the reason why is in that building down there with the red roof. There's a spring in there which pumps out 1,000 gallons of water every minute, day and night, summer and winter. So because of that spring down there, there is always lots of water here. And that's part of why Jericho has been a significant city for many generations. So when the Israelites came here, they were coming to a well-established, been wealthy for many, many years. And you remember when the spies came across and checked out the land? They said these cities have fortifications that reach up to the heaven. Now some amazing city walls have been found here, but they all seem to predate the time of Joshua. We'll look down on some fortifications that predate the time of Abraham, and yet are very impressive and very strong. There's a hill here and a city is built on it, but then as the city is destroyed and then another city built on top, the city gets higher and higher. So guys, here we've got these ancient walls. These ones here, do you see there's a kind of square one here made with these mud bricks? This dates to the time of the patriarchs. So when Jacob was wandering around here, this wall would have been there. Notice the mud bricks. They're actually reconstructions, but there would have been mud bricks there, then with stones on the outside. And of course the Israelites had to make mud bricks in Egypt. So you see there's a room inside the wall there. Rahab would have probably had a room like that so that she could lower the, remember she was able to lower the guys out from her house on the wall. But then cutting through and replacing this wall is the younger wall behind it. Do you see that stone wall behind it? So some people would argue that that wall dates to the time of the conquest, and that's the wall that Joshua was facing when he came here. The majority opinion though is that it would have been destroyed by the time of Joshua, and that there would have been a new wall here at the time of Joshua. But it would have been similar, and so it's possible that that is a wall from, well, if it's not the wall from the time of Joshua, it would have been a wall like that. Notice the big stones. It's an impressive defensive wall, yet it all crumbled as the people cried out to God, and leaving the city open to the invaders.
Yes. Fantastic. Well, we're going to be travelling now, a beautiful journey up the Jordan Valley with the Central Mountains on our left, with the Jordan River and the Transjordanian Mountains on our right. We'll be travelling up to break our journey just below Mount Gilboa, about an hour, hour and a quarter north of here, depending on... Mark chapter 1, we read about John baptising in the River Jordan. And this wasn't around here, this was in the wilderness, down in the Judean wilderness where we were earlier, down near Jericho. But let's read about John's ministry and about the day that he was shocked by the person who came to be baptized by him. In those days, Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee and was baptized by John in the Jordan. And when he came up out of the water, immediately he saw the heavens being torn open, and the Spirit descending on him like a dove. And a voice came from heaven, "You are my beloved Son. With you I am well pleased." See Lake Galilee. It's a beautiful lake, about 13 miles long, about 8 miles wide. It's a beautiful lake, isn't it? So most of Jesus' ministry and most of Jesus' preaching took place here on Lake Galilee, particularly around the North Shore. That's where we're going to be spending our time tomorrow.